Hello, Miss. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, good.
Thanks.
How is your morning going so far?
Good. Good morning.
Morning.
It feels like Friday. Like,
Yeah,
be like, yeah.
yeah, definitely. I understand. It's it's the end of the week and you had a holiday in the middle, so it happens. Okay, let's just wait and see who else is going to join us.
I can't
Um,
get the camera to work. I'm trying to fix it.
Okay,
One sec.
yeah. All right, so I have Aster, Genesis, Andrea, Marisol, and Ulises. Perfect. I think that with you guys it's enough. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do today, remember what I asked you to research about? Did you read something or did you find something?
Why seating arrangement is important?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so here's what we're going to be doing, okay? I'm going to ask you, okay, Alejandro's coming. I'm just gonna wait for him to join us. Hassan is also here, so they can listen to the instructions. All right, perfect. So the question in here I have: what did you research or find about classroom layout in classroom management? So what I'm going to ask you to do is share what you found about classroom layout in classroom management or classroom layout in general. But if you, for some reason, like forgot or didn't do the research, don't worry. I do want you, however, to share your opinion, okay, about the importance of classroom layout in classroom management, okay. But for this, I'm going to separate you in pairs. I think will be the best in breakout rooms. So here is how you're going to work. Aster, you're gonna work with Ulises, okay? Genesis, you are going to work with Andrea Torres, okay? Alejandro, you are going to work with Andrea, the new Andrea,
Okay, okay.
okay?
Mhm.
And I'm gonna put Dana, Hassan, and in this case Marisol, you three together, okay?
Okay.
All right, so in this case, again, if you didn't research, don't worry, don't panic, just share your opinion. You do have to have at least something to share for the importance of classroom layout, okay? Let me, for this, we're gonna take, oh, sorry, at least 6 minutes to complete the task, all right?
Okay. Okay.
So 1, 2, 3. All right, so Aster with Lises, Genesis with Andrea, Alejandro with Andrea, and Dana, Hassan, and Marisol. Okay, so please accept the invitation to the breakout room, okay?
Is why a classroom line is important, and I read that you have to create the classroom has to be comfortable friendly and colorful to create like a positive learning to the student. To don't, I think is to don't make the classroom like boring, like for example, or white, just like
Mhm.
that without no colors won't be like mm, how can I say, like I don't know if it will be like positive or like the kids won't be like focused or like the kids won't feel like going to the school because I don't know, the place won't be like, oh, okay, here won't I won't have fun or so. So
Mhm.
in like in my work they have like a lot of posters um to make them feel like, yeah, okay, this place will be like a lot of fun. I have that. And I think having that in the classroom will be really helpful because the students won't see the classroom or like going to the school as an obligation. I guess that is like the important thing to create a place that they will be, sorry, like experimenting or having like a fun there while they are learning.
Yeah, but when we are working with adults, you're talking about colors, uniforms, and
Hi, Carol.
Hi, teacher.
All right, I'm gonna send you to one of the breakout rooms because they are working in there.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you with Aster and Ulises. Okay.
Okay.
As as the kids, because why, because with the kids we have like a poster with like two kids and
Because sometimes ¿sí me escucha?
Yes, you froze like for 2 minutes. What happened?
Ah, ya estoy. Sí,
Yes.
¿no? Well, I was telling you that, as you said, I don't think that they work in big groups. Only like they one that have they're in relaciones, like around 20, between 15 and 20 students, or can be less.
In
Because
a
if you,
classroom?
yes, I mean, if you can try it with a group, is like 15 students.
What it could be the best option according to the kind of audience that you are talking to.
Do you think that's why it's so common in high schools and some middle schools to have the traditional layout?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
yes, yes, it is, yes, it is. Yes, because you are dealing
Yeah, and
with,
then with the younger kids, they have the tables.
yeah, yes, traditionally, well, at least in Mexico, if we are talking about public schools, they are too crowded.
Hmm.
I mean, the classroom with between 30 and 40 children in one classroom. So it's a big size group. And so, uh,
Important because, well, as an experience, no more like my teachers don't use like these kind of methods when I was in high school or even in other school. And we were like always like, I don't know, it was a mess when we were working and when we tried to move the chairs to form the groups or the circles or the when we were going to have like a debate, we didn't know how to do it and we always was like unrespectful and we make a lot of noise. The teacher didn't know how to manage it. So I think that it's very interesting to learn how to do it.
Yeah, I am thinking, as you said, in my experience, when I was like in high school too, the teacher like they have their chair like in front, and also we are sitting as a lines. So teacher like the student that they are like in the back, maybe sometimes they can hear teacher what he or she's saying. So he has to know how to move around the classroom, and she or he can notice that student are getting the idea of what he's saying. So I think now we have like a good things that we can do, because if we think about the education that we got when we were like in elementary school, it like is very different to now, because teacher years ago they don't care about how student like arrangement in classroom, but now yes, if we have like a classroom all student as a circle in the classroom, maybe teacher like is can have like a good visual, and he can
Okay, let's just wait for your peers to come back. All right, so let's see. You two were working together, correct?
Yes.
All right. So Hassan is here,
yes.
and everybody's gonna come back in just 1 second. All right. Perfect. So now that you
Okay.
now you had a little discussion with the people from, I mean, the people that you were working with, we're gonna actually continue with this. Okay. Again, and the topic would be for now classroom layout in classroom management. Now, here is what you're going to actually talk about. Following that conversation, now I'm going to change you, and you're going to work in only 2 groups. What you're going to discuss is something you agree with the previous person you were talking to, something you found interesting about what the other person said. Maybe, you know what, I was working with Andrea and Genesis, and I found interesting what Andrea said about classroom layout, and I'm going to share it to you. And you are going to share something that was new for you. Maybe, you know what, Andrea said something about the arrangement of the classroom or the chairs, and that was new for me. So I'm going to share it to you now, okay? Now you're going to work like this. Aster, Andrea, well, actually the 2 Andreas, Aster, let me just recreate the classroom. It's gonna be like this. Andrea Torres, Aster, Andrea, Dana, and Marisol. You 5 are going to work together, and you're going to discuss this. And then the rest, Alejandro, Carol, Genesis, Hassan, and Ulises, you 5 are going to work in another breakout room. And the same, you're just going to share the things that you discussed with your previous partner. Okay? Yes?
Okay.
So for this, I'm gonna give you only 4 or 5 minutes at the most to kind of close this discussion so we can bring it out to the main room, okay?
Okay.
All right. So there you go. Accept the invitation, please.
Um,
What? Here.
Make several changes in the arrangement of the chairs inside the classroom. Well, that is thinking that you have enough space to do it and that you can move the chairs, that they are not fixed to the floor. But if you are dealing with classroom with more than 20 students, the most recommended option is to be dealing with the traditional layout. I mean, the big square where you are at the front as a teacher and you are trying to teach and to control the audience from that situation. That's what I was talking to her.
I don't know.
So what else can you exchange that you were talking with your partner a moment ago?
Well,
What do you think, Hassan?
So we discussed about like how a classroom was how we arrange the discrete classroom, and Andrea she told that we have to do how with grouping our students. I found it like it's very interesting because sometimes like we are just thinking how we arrange the disk as maybe a circle or semicircle or something like that. But also we have to think how we can make groups. It will be like in pairs or a group of 3 or 4, depending on how many students that we have. So I am agree with you. I didn't think about it yeah, because now we are talking about how many students in
And start out because another way will be like really difficult to let them understand.
Right. So if you had, I mean, the right number of students and everything was ideal, ventilation, lighting, everything was fine, the size of the room, what would be your favorite layout? What would be your ideal layout for the seating?
Interesting question. I
Yeah.
think that like the more important are when we are like one from each other,
Mhm.
and there's the big space in the middle because the teacher can move in that space, and also all the students can saw her or saw him
Right.
and have like interaction with him and the others, like because they're in front of them and can actually see your partners. I think it's
That's the best one. What about you, Esther?
I think, well, I was thinking about how I was used to sitting my students because once I have like 12 and I have like 3 tables.
Mhm.
So what I do is like to put a 4 of each student in different tables. But
Right.
for example, two in the like large side and two in the small one. So they were not kind of like in their own space, but if they have doubts about the topic or if I have like activities, so it will be like my first group, second group, and so on. But
In my case, I said that when I was studying at Tech Millennium, the floors in the school had different, every floor has like one different in case of another. The first floor in the classrooms, they had a table with 8 chairs, I think it was, like a big table. and 8 chairs around it. In the second, they had 4 chairs and four tables, like united. And the third one,
Okay.
I don't remember, but I really like it because it was like you can be in the table working or drawing or something like that, and you don't have to be in the floor. So for me, it's better to work in a big table because you can be like, you have more flexibility
Mhm.
that you, even if you're in the floor, because in the floor you are like
Yeah, yeah,
you don't
fix it.
draw or you don't write better than you are in the table.
Yeah, I don't know if the chairs that you are talking about were making use of wheels to be moving
Yes,
those chairs.
also.
Okay. Yeah, that's a key point because you can make several arrangements very quickly. Okay, great. Well, Lisa, I know you had a lot of problems with the internet connection, but taking into consideration.
Like it. I think it's too direct. Too. It makes me feel like a circus performer as opposed to like I'm inspiring them and teaching them. I prefer the U-shaped where it's almost like a circle but not. But that doesn't really work for bigger classes. But
Yeah, like for example, in Lely, we have, well, we are not in lines. We are actually like in a L form
yeah.
or even like in a square. So everybody has their own space, but everybody is like seeing the teacher, or the teacher can see like everybody. So
Yeah, I feel like a
I
political
like
leader
that.
instead of like a performer. I mean, it's nice. It's good for collaboration and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yes.
I was telling Genesis that maybe
Hi. All right, let's just wait for the others to come back. They still have a couple of seconds. And we're gonna kind of like wrap this up and continue with something more before we go. Okay, so everybody from the other group is missing. Okay, so everybody's here, I think. Yes. All right, very good. So to kind of wrap this up, what I want, well, we are going to be taking turns. I want to finish this as a whole group discussion. So I would like for you guys to, I mean, I don't know who wants to start or who wants to share something. You don't have to share about everything, but just maybe something that you agreed on, something you found interesting, something that was new for you that you want to share to the other group? Not everybody has to speak at the same time. So, I mean, don't.
Well, I can
Okay.
start.
Yes. All right. So, Dana, and then you.
Well,
Okay.
yes. Well, what we're talking about, we're like, uh, we start to remember like situations that we expected in the past in high school or in school, or when, for example, Esther was teaching, and she said like now it makes like a lot of sense that we didn't know what that means when we work with classroom layouts, but now we are like knowing more about, and we start to remember like, well, we actually live it, but we didn't know what was it in that time.
So you were part of it, yeah, definitely. And I guess that as we continue talking a little bit about this, depending on the type of school that you were, I mean, you're going to kind of connect. I remember that maybe my teacher when I was in elementary school, she used to do this. But I remember that when I was in middle school, the other teachers were doing differently. Um, Obviously, that's gonna vary because in reality not everybody not all of us were in, for example, private schools, or not all of us were in government schools, so it's going to be different, and it's going to be good that we get to share that experience. So little by little you're going to be connecting some of the experience that you have. And Genesis, what did you want to mention?
Is that it's not possible, or it's kind of hard to do classroom layout in big groups. It's easier to make it in small groups, because you, as you said, there are some groups that are really big groups, and the classroom it's like small for them, so you don't have this enough space to move around. So
So you what, sorry, I didn't get the last part.
Sorry, what you said, teacher?
I didn't get the last part. Can you repeat the last part only?
That I'm agreed with this idea that it's harder to arrange big groups.
Big groups. Okay. All right. Good. So during the next, well, in the next classes, we're actually gonna talk a little bit about that. All right. So yes, anyone else who wants to contribute something?
I really like a question that Andrea said, but I don't remember which one you said, Andrea, that we thought it was like really good. It wasn't here in the presentation.
It was in the presentation?
No, it wasn't. She made out a question, but I don't remember.
Was it the one that some of the considerations or something like that? I remember that question that she asked you.
Yeah, but I don't remember what she
I
said.
remember. I don't remember the rest of the question.
It wasn't about what is the perfect classroom, like the
Ideal classroom layout.
yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it was that.
Why did you find interesting, or why did you like it?
Well, we was just sharing that it was like very boring and too strict when you put everybody in a line. Everybody like very focused on something, and it's better when you try to maybe do a U-shaped form, maybe a square, a nail, and yeah, try to move maybe once a while the
So
classroom.
So in this case, yeah, kind of like keep them moving in a way, and also have them like be seated in a way that they can be engaged. Okay. All right. So before we kind of wrap this up and officially finish with this, anyone else who would like to contribute or share something?
Yes, me.
Okay.
We were talking about, well, actually it's the idea of Alejandro, but I don't know why he didn't say anything. Andrea told me that she was with Alejandro before, and Alejandro told her that it's not that Lion is not only like sitting them, it's like about the line and the environment. And yeah, that is actually what I read. That was about that it's not only like sitting, is about to create a like a good environment for the students in the classroom, to make them feel like they will they are going to learn something while they are like getting fun, or not only like focus on okay, I have to learn this like as obligation.
Yep, definitely. So in this case, is the idea of using the classroom, any classroom, as a mean of engaging the student in a way that they say, you know what, I'm going to go to the classroom and I know that I'm going to learn. So the classroom is the mean that you have as a teacher to make the student feel, one, I'm going to learn. Two, the teacher knows how to use the literally how to use the classroom for me to learn. Because if you don't know how to control the classroom, then we have the factor student not really caring about what you are going to be teaching or speaking. I mean, they are going to be there and they are just going to sit, and that's it. So if they don't feel that that the teacher, as Alejandro mentioned yesterday also, is one, the leader, and has control of the classroom, not about like the student, then they have the idea of, you know what, no, this teacher, I'm just not going to pay attention to him or to her. So that's something that we have to consider, and always have in mind when we are, when we're going to teach any group, even if it's the same group that you have been teaching, you have to find a way to have them engaged using the classroom as a part of your teaching. Okay.
Yeah, well, finally, teacher, I would like to point out the following. Um, as a teacher, you always have to be making good use of your resources. For example, in a given classroom, if you got already installed 4 monitors, one in each of the 4 walls, it doesn't matter the kind of arrangement that you selected. It will be running very for the students because they will keep um, reading and watching properly. I mean the image from the screens, because you got 4 monitors. But if you got only one monitor and the arrangement that you did let the monitor behind them, so it is not the right option. So you have to always be making good use of your resources inside the classroom.
Exactly. So inside and outside, because sometimes, for example, you have for example, at Relaciones Culturales, we are in heaven because we have internet, we have a big, smart, interactive board, we have the projector, everybody has a chair. I mean, when we go there, it's pretty good because we have all of the things that we can, that, you know, not every school has. But if you go to a public school or a government school, elementary, middle school, high school, not everybody has, they don't even have sometimes like the whiteboards. They still use the blackboards. So sometimes you only have the board and the chairs. And that's where classroom layout planning comes into work, because you have to plan, okay, what can I do with the chairs? because we have that factor of it's a government school. I'm teaching there. I have 40 chairs. What can I do with the space? So those things, the resources that we have are the chairs, the walls, the outside of the classroom, and the board. So what can I do? So those are the things that we have to consider every time we go and teach to a public school, private school, or wherever. Okay. All right. So we still have what, 10 minutes? Okay. Let me. All right, so we have this importance of classroom layout. Who would like to help me read this paragraph? Only the paragraph.
Me.
Okay.
Teaching and learning often involve the use of spaces in a classroom, thinking of course in classroom context. There is furniture, there are limitations, and then the space you can use as an advantage.
So in this case, pretty much what Alejandro was mentioning, right? The resources that we have, like the classroom that we have. So these are the two questions that I have. Should lesson plans include classroom layout? What do you think?
Yes. Remember that I told you yesterday that I work in a Montessori school? Well, in the plan lesson, you need to put where you're going to impart the material. Are you going to use it on a table, on the floor, outside? Maybe, yeah, you need to include that. So, well, it's important.
Yeah. So in this case, you need to know what are going to be when you're planning your lesson plan. In this case, you need to know what space, where are you going to make your students work. So in this case, again, if I go back to the Relaciones Culturales classroom, am I going to ask my students to work in a horseshoe, like listen to me in a horseshoe arrangement? Am I going to put them in pairs? Am I going to make them work in circles? Those are the things that I want to plan ahead. Obviously, I need to have a plan B or a plan C, because maybe, you know what, right now I have 9 students, but maybe tomorrow I'm only going to have 2 because the others just didn't come to school. So I need to plan what else I'm going to do. And well, yeah, that would be the importance. And all right, so we have this other part. Who would like to help me read this part?
Okay, I do. As teachers, we normally do not choose the classroom in which we will teach.
Sorry,
However,
it's teach, not teacher.
we will teach. We will teach. Yeah. However, this doesn't mean we can think of way of changing the layout, thinking about the students' needs.
Okay. So, what do you guys think about this paragraph? And forget about the teacher. It's teach. What do you guys understand, or what do you get from this paragraph?
I think it goes back to what we were talking about, making the best out of what you do have. So you might not get to choose the classroom, but once they give it to you or they assign it to you or whatever, then you got to do what you got to do, whatever's going to work best for you in your classroom and your lesson.
Okay. So yes, it's pretty much that. So in this case, the thing that we also have to have in mind, and again, not because normally, well, not normally, everything that I do in the classroom is going to be because it's going to fit or is going to satisfy, let's say, the students' needs. Okay, I need to know that, you know what, if I'm going to make an activity, the activity is going to work best for them individually, because that's how they work. But you know what, this other activity, I know that I'm going to ask them to go out of the classroom because that works best for them. So everything that I do, thinking about the layout, again, It's because I'm gonna be thinking about the students' needs, and also because I know that that is how they are going to learn. Otherwise, then why am I going to do this? So that's why, and I'm not saying that government schools or public schools are bad. That's not true. But sometimes the teachers, they just don't know how to arrange or work with the layout. That's why the students sometimes they don't learn, because they cannot really find a way to make the layout of the classroom work best for them, for the students, not for me, the teacher. Me, what? I am already, you know what? I'm in that the other side of the classroom. How are they learning? Okay, so that's what we need to think about. All right, and you know what? We're gonna stop here and we're gonna continue this on Wednesday. But I'm going to show you this. I do have one extra homework, but it's not like homework, because you have your project. It is, give me 1 second. Can you see the Google's, well, the website? Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
It is a forum. It is not like an assignment.
Ah,
Well, it is an
okay.
assignment, but it's a forum. So you do have to, it's part of your grade, so remember. Now, here is the thing. The instructions, I put them in here. If you click when you go to the forum, it says refer to the first comment for reference. And here is here are the instructions. It says you will read the following article on classroom layout. The name of the article is this one. So you click here and it's going to direct you to the article. The instructions are you read, and what I want you to post is a summary of the important points about classroom layout and seating arrangement for effective learning. The summary requires you to paraphrase, quote something from the article, and pretty much share your opinion about the topic. Okay. You have a limit, it's 250 words. That is for the original post. Take on what you consider is important for you and post your key learnings from the article. After this, you have to prepare to build on a written discussions with your peers. Once you post, you know what? I already read it and this is my post. I posted. You finish? I want you to reply to 2 of your classmates. When you reply, I want you to consider something you found interesting from their post, something you agree on, and something that you didn't know from what they said. Okay? You don't have to follow that order. Just consider these when you reply to them. You have until September 28th, so it's next month, from this Monday to the other, to finish this forum. Okay? All right.
Yeah.
Questions with this? All right, pretty good. So for now, that's it, guys. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next Wednesday.
Okay.
All righty.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
Miss.
you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
teacher.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.